I've always just loved trucks since I was a little kid, so I was bound to be a truck driver, I knew that.
The log truck drivers have probably the most dangerous job in the bush. Their wheels are always turning, they're in and out of the truck. They have to wrap the logs so that they don't come off the truck when they're on the highway or on the road. It is a really physically demanding job.
After years of doing it, my shoulders just couldn't take it anymore. One day, out went my shoulder. I had a torn rotator cuff.
For logging truck drivers who have a shoulder injury, that can usually be the death knell to their career in terms of driving a logging truck. We always have to go to the employer first and say, hey, this guy's ready to go back to work. He is recovered from his injury, but he's not 100%. He is going to have some difficulties doing the job the way that he used to. He's right-hand dominant, and with the logging truck, you're throwing the wrappers over the load so that you can then tie the wrappers down and secure the load. So that's what we need the help with. We do have a contract with CanAssist, and this is how they're to be used. They came up with this lighter wrapper throwing device so that he doesn't have to put as much strength or motion into actually throwing the wrapper up over the load, and then he can more easily pull it over on the other side. He was willing to try anything at this point to keep himself at work. Initially, the employer was, on a short term, we can try this. We'll do a graduated return to work. We want to support this. But he was a little bit uncertain, a little bit wary about how this might work out in the long term.
Well, after it happened to my right shoulder, I was worried enough then, doing the job that I'm doing. And then it happened to my left shoulder, and I thought, well, this is probably going to be the end of my career.
We really thought that this might be the end of the road for Doug, that this might be the last time that he would be driving truck. We felt like maybe he just couldn't do it. But Doug is a talented log truck driver, and they're hard to come by. So when you have one, you want to keep them.
At the start, I kind of came back and rode with a couple of guys for a few days, just getting used to climbing in and out of the truck and moving around, helping them however I could without using my shoulders. I did that for a week or two, and then I think I went back to work after that.
The employer was still willing to accommodate Doug. They really seemed to be quite committed to getting Doug back to work and supporting him and helping him get back to work.
After injuring my first shoulder, and then it happens to my second shoulder, I mean, most contractors would have said, it's not going to work, goodbye. And they've always stuck with me. They've never ever once given up on me.
I asked the employer and Doug, is there anything else that you think that could help you, make it easier for you to do this, continue to do this job?
Every truck, basically you have to do some kind of above shoulder work. I heard through the grapevine from some people in Kelowna that there was these new air stakes out. Some guy has invented them, and he's done them to about a half a dozen trucks around the Okanagan.
Air stakes, what they do is they air up, the stakes go up, you take the air off and they go down. And so there was no reason for him to be reaching above his head.
Monica seemed supportive, she never hesitated about not doing it. She thought if it was a helpful way to get me back to work, she was supportive.
He's working. I hardly ever talk to him anymore because he's out logging like 15, 16-hour days most days right now. It's working. I'm happy. He's happy. If there was not the commitment from both the worker and the employer, there's no way that this would have happened. I wouldn't be sitting here, Doug wouldn't be back at work.
This story makes us feel good as a company. I know it makes Doug feel good because I can see it on his face. He's a good guy. It's good to see him back to work.
I feel grateful for WCB and my employer, everybody that's helped me along the way. Oh, it's going better than okay. Yeah, going up and down the road and I'm doing my job.